my fellow creatives, my name is Twana, aka T, whatever you want it to be at the end of the day, and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what's on my iPad as a graphic designer, and I will have them all linked in the description box below. As I mentioned, it is an iPad, so these are all from the App Store. However, if there are like Android, if it is also available on Android tablets and stuff like that, I will also have those linked in the description box below. So if there's something you're interested in to see what's on my iPad as a graphic designer, then stay tuned. Down is just because I'm looking at my iPad, but I'm going to put my iPad screen recording up on the screen and move myself to the corner so you guys can get the full gist of what is going on my iPad. So let's get started. So this is my home screen. This is just the general apps that come with my iPad. We have my calendar, my phone, camera, contacts, clock, notes, news, stocks, app store, settings, find my iPhone, and measurements. I do have, I think they're called widgets to the side, which is the clock, which is a bit bigger, my calendar, which I have no events for today, the weather, and picture. That picture widget is usually motivation, but today it's showing the error. So we scroll now. If you can move to the bottom of my iPad, you can see I've got my iMessages, my FaceTime, my Safari, and then I have my notes, Procreate, Safari, which I'm on my MacBook, as you can see the little icon, and then I believe that's just a group of apps. I'm actually not sure what that means. I'm going to be totally honest. So scrolling to the second page now, I've tried to keep this as organized as possible in regards to me. My iPad is primarily used for graphics, so I do try to keep my personal stuff separate, but yeah, there are a few bits and bobs, as you can see, that's on my iPad, but it is an iPad at the end of the day. The first app you can see straight away is my Google Calendars. So if we go into my Google Calendars, I know it's a lot, right? This is both my personal and my business lifestyle, to make sure I stay on track of everything. So if you have a look, I have like my bookings. You can see like the ones in purple, that's all graphic related. Those are all my bookings. And then also personal to myself are all kind of meetings, holidays, bookings, appointments, stuff like that. And then the stuff in yellow are tasks that I'm supposed to do. As you can see, every day I'm supposed to read for 30 minutes. And then I have content and recordings and reminders on here as well. So yeah, I use Google Calendars because I find it more easier, more efficient, and I can easily interlink it on all my platforms. I can have it on my phone, I can have it on my iPad, I can have it on my MacBook. So it's just easier for me to sync all of them together and just get access. And I like the fact how it can give you notifications and keep you up to date with what's going on in your life. I would advise getting a routine and getting very organized and using a calendar for your bookings. This really helps me to stay on track with who I've got when and what they've booked. Like as you can see for this week, if you look where the blue circle is, I have a client logo today, and that reminds me, it just sets me to know when I go into my Notions whose folder to click into, how to read their brief, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, just a normal calendar, nothing special. The Google one I believe is free. Next I have is my emails. So good thing about Google is that it is all linked. I've blurred it out just for privacy, but this is my Google Gmail. I do pay for a business Gmail, so that's info@gbtdesigns.com. But if you want to start off with a free email, then you can do so as well. I pay £4.19 a month just to have the business workspace. Very efficient, and I've got categories on the side. So if we go here, and I just go to the bottom, I've got general inquiries, illustrations, logo designs, new inquiries, and YouTube. This just helps to stay on. This just helps me and my virtual assistant to kind of like know what's going on. Anything that's been completed, where I've sent the folder, sent their project, everything's fine, they're happy with it, it will go into completed file, so it's done. We don't have anything to do with that client anymore. General inquiries is just people sending in general inquiries about my business, or queries, what services I offer, do I offer extra services that might not be on my website, and etc, etc. Illustrations, it's in itself, illustrations, any queries that asks about illustration services, logo design projects, and YouTube projects. With these ones, they would already need to be booked in. So if they're not booked in, they will either go in general inquiries or new inquiries. Until they're booked in, I will not move them into their folders of illustration, logo, or YouTube, because it'll just make it more confused. If it's booked and you're booked in for YouTube, then I would then move it into the YouTube projects email box. Same with the logos, same with the illustrations. You don't have to have folders like this, but I would try to have folders because it helps everything to kind of keep more organized, so you don't get confused. It just lets you know where everything can be found like that. And I like to work quick, like, okay, cool, this person X is got a logo design, boom, logo design folder, boom. That's where I will continue to communicate throughout the project. I do also have, like, there's also, as standard, it comes with starts, news, important, sent, schedule, draft, etc, etc. I would advise creating a signature for your business. It just looks more professional, more efficient. You can get ideas maybe from your current job, Google, probably TikTok, I wouldn't be surprised. YouTube, learn how to make a signature. If that's something you guys are interested in how I did mine, I can definitely give a tutorial on that, but it's very straightforward. So coming off of my emails, I then have general mails, but this one's more private to my personal life, so it's my Hotmail. This will just be like my clothes, places I shop, blah blah blah. So that's not really important. The next app, a big app that I use for my business, is Notions, and my personal life. Notions is huge. As you can see, I have open my YouTube dashboard. I'll just go to my YouTube dashboard because it's easier. This is my homepage for my YouTube dashboard. I created this quite new because I'm new to YouTube, and I've kind of just tried to get a layout that works for me. I've included my calendar so I can start scheduling which content is due when, and I have like my ideas, like stuff that might just pop into my head. I can just quickly go into my Notions and just literally note that down. Content tracker to help me track with what I'm doing, and same with my channel plan. The kind of vision board you can see to the side is the kind of aesthetic I'm going through, so hopefully you guys will see that throughout my channel. That's the kind of aesthetic I'm going for the branding of my YouTube channel. But yeah, as you can see on the side, there is many pages which help me to stay on track. Obviously a lot of them are personal, but as well as that, a lot of them are to do with graphics. So if you look at here, T's Graphic Hub, this is just like my graphics homepage, where I've covered like the fundamentals, quotes, inspiration, practice. Like, these are not to say I'm stealing them, but it's as for inspiration. This is how I want my work to be laid out in the future, kind of how I want to get the level I want to get to. That illustration is stuff that I'm currently learning to do now, and I've got notes and tools, stuff like colors, composition, perception. It's just a really good platform to kind of like jot down all your notes, everything you learn, all on one platform, just easy to access, easy to edit, easy to play with. If you guys do want me to kind of break down how I created my Notions for my graphics and how I made it work, then definitely let me know. That is something I can do for you guys. Notions is not the easiest, but there's templates, and I would advise using the templates to your advantage. Next app that I use as a graphic designer is Notability. Notability, I believe, is free, but do not quote me on that. I go there and it's basically my notepad. It's basically a notepad. I just go in there and I sketch, and I just, not sketch literally, but scribble down ideas that might just pop into my head whilst I am out. So if we go into there, you can kind of see I've got all of these, you can kind of see I've got all of these pages, which are basically my brainstorming for a brand, for a logo design. This is one of my clients that I'm currently doing now, Ibis Home Care Limited, and these are kind of like the things that she put down in her questionnaire, and the key things that stand out to me, which I've highlighted, and etc. And then I'll just refer back to this page whilst creating her logo to make sure I stay on track. I do have this also on Notions, but when I'm on the go, sometimes just pen to paper, having a mind map is a bit more easier than scrolling through like a list or a paragraph on a digital page. So this kind of gives you that more authentic, original, back, you know, the old school kind of way of planning out things, a mind map. Notability can be used for anything. You can use it for your studies, you can use it for taking notes, writing down courses. I did make a few notes on there for like my YouTube editing courses when I was making notes of key things, reminders, etc. All of them stuff are in my notes. You don't have to have Notability because I think you do need an Apple Pencil for that, but you might not. You can write stuff like that in your notes, but I prefer Notability because I just like the whole pen, the iPad, etc, etc. Okay, so the next is a bundle called Business, and these are basically my two platforms that I use to monitor my business. So I have Wix and I have Shopify. Wix is for my graphics business, gbtdesigns.com, and Shopify is for my printing business, gbtprints.com. I use two different platforms because of the pros and cons for both, and I feel like Wix is just more better for when I'm doing bookings and scheduling that stuff in, dealing with invoices, etc, etc, whereas I feel like Shopify is more for like an actual store where you're selling physical or digital products, and it's just more efficiently better for sales. If you want me to go into a deeper video of the two and why I chose the two for my businesses, then I can absolutely do that for you guys. I'm not going to go into them because they are a bit personal. But the next category is social media. At this moment I use three main platforms. Well, two main platforms plus like a plus one. So my main platform, I'm going to say to this day, is TikTok. I think TikTok is my main platform, and that's where I get 90% of my clients. It is TikTok. My TikTok is GBT Designs at GBT Designs, and this is the page. So yeah, I'm on 658 followers. I was very inconsistent at the beginning, but now I've got onto like a consistent routine to post one video a day, and I've definitely seen a difference. TikTok is an amazing platform. I can't say how much clients it's actually brought me. People will send me my TikTok and say, oh my god, I saw this, I need to book you, like. And I try to make a lot more relatable content as well, like make it a bit funny, relatable, and this is how you kind of network and you meet other graphic designers who are basically in the same bubble as you. And yeah, like it's not always about your work and your art, just relatable stuff, etc, etc. My next platform is Instagram. Instagram was my primary So Instagram was my primary like platform until TikTok started to take off. I am on 451 followers, and yeah, I am quite bad at posting on Instagram, maybe because I prefer video content, and I find editing on TikTok is much more easier, and I do feel like the algorithm is not as strict compared to Instagram. So a lot of my videos that I post on Instagram, on TikTok, will do much better than they do on Instagram. And I know I've seen a lot of videos, I'm still learning about the difference today. You can't edit them both the same. But I don't know, I think maybe for my personality, I genuinely believe that TikTok's just a bit better for me. But I still do post, and I try to keep a theme throughout. I will try and insert a clip of my old Instagram. It was very inconsistent, but one thing I would say is try to have consistent branding. I've definitely got a black, white, and kind of teal color theme going on. That's kind of my branding colors. Kind of try to stick with it throughout, as you can see. Same with my reels. I kind of stuck with the black and white, with the teal, hint of teal, to kind of show consistency. I then have Pinterest. Pinterest is mainly used for inspiration. Look, as you can see, the first thing you see is like illustrations. I love and appreciate other people's work. I don't copy, but for example, like what I would do with Pinterest is, with this picture in the corner, if you have a look, I love it already. Not gonna, that's probably why it's come up on my feed. And I wouldn't copy that exact picture. However, I might but I might take inspiration of the textures. So you see with her shading, you can kind of see it's got like these curved lines in different colors. I might try to incorporate something like that in my future designs because I like the way she's done her shading. Other things could be like with this one as well. Like, you see the other one? And now you look at this one, completely two different styles. I might try to take some of that, like what that designer has done, and maybe apply it to my future designs. I get a lot of quotes from here. A lot of my pictures that I do illustrations, like this is one here is a good illustration picture, like, and then I could probably maybe put into Photoshop, add a couple of effects, add a couple of text, and then sell it as a print. That's kind of what I use Pinterest for. A lot of it's for inspiration. I don't post. Maybe I should. I've heard a lot of people do very well on Pinterest, but I just don't feel like I know the platform well enough to be posting. But for inspiration, absolutely. For visual inspiration, absolutely. 10/10. Perfect. So that's my social media. Next is entertainment, nothing special. YouTube and Netflix. I'm a human being. I like to binge sometimes. My next group is Adobe. Adobe, I do pay for the all subscription. However, time to read. However, I am on a student subscription. So my student subscription is about £25. So if you are a student, you can get the full package where you get access to everything for £25. Once I finish, which I've finished, I've graduated, so it will go up to about maybe £50 to £60 a month. However, you can just pay for individual apps if you don't need all. I use my primary one is Adobe Illustrator, following Photoshop, and I've recently started to learn to video edit it, which was Premiere Pro. And I do want to learn to kind of apply After Effects, but that's down the line. So I bought I pay for the full package just because I use multiple. But if you are like determined to just use one, I wouldn't bother paying for the Creative Cloud. I would just pay for the Adobe Illustrator subscription and just get that. Alternatively, there is Affiliate or something like that. I am not pronouncing that right. I'm gonna put it on the screen. That is like an alternative to Adobe, and I've heard a lot of like my not friends, but a lot of my graphic associates say that it's a very good app. So you can definitely check that out if that is something. If you're looking for something a bit more affordable. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really use Adobe on my iPad, as you can see. I have attempted to, and it just hasn't succeeded. I've just stuck to it on the desktop. But I do want to learn to kind of get familiar with the app, because I feel like there's certain things I could do on the app which make it much more quicker. Premiere Pro Rush is, I personally don't like it. Why is it still on my thing? As you can see, I don't use it. I've kept it on there because I want to start editing my TikToks on there, taking them from out of TikTok to edit them on a more professional platform. So I can add subtitles and text and these special kind of effects, which I think will level up my videos. There's also Photoshop. I'm surprised I'm not logged in, because I use Photoshop the most on this when I want to use that background removals. Mainly the background removals when I'm doing like for my YouTube branding. Like if I'm doing a banner, I will like remove the background so it's nice and clean, and I can download it in like in a good format. So I do use Canva a lot. When I use it to make my covers for my reels. I use it to make like if you look at this one, this was my graphic questionnaire. I no longer use this, but this is just a prime example. Like this is just a questionnaire that I used to send to my clients, and then they would fill it out a PDF form and send it back. I use it for posts, so that I want to post on my Instagram. A lot of it's used mainly for Instagram. I do use it sometimes for logo design. not for my clients. But as you can see, I was kind of trying to get an idea of what a certain look or font I wanted to go for GBT prints, kind of colors I was just playing with and stuff like that. I did my YouTube banner on here as well, which I think is pretty decent. If you want to know how I done my banner, I fully done it on Canva, and I can kind of show you guys how you can do your own. If you are not really tech savvy like that, I do have templates on my website that you can use. My actual template is not on there, but I can definitely get something put up there for you guys. One thing I do on here with my clients is the mood board. So this is my current client, one of my current clients is a mood board. So at the top, obviously you can see my branding colors are there because obviously it's me, and then I've put the name at the top, and then I've kind of like showed what her business is about, which is it's a care home, private care home business, and these are the kind of color concepts she was going for, and I've kind of just played around with it. I've added fonts that I think would look nice, but like these are not the final ones. I would then take this, have it on the side and vote in Adobe Illustrator, and then keep that there as like a memory to stay on track about what her brand's about, kind of thing. I have other ones. Yeah, so this one was for, I think it was called Pink Print, and it was like an admin service where they sort out permits, like all that contracts, paper kind of work thing, but it was for a construction company. So you can see I've got like the pink to represent the pink in the name, but then I've got like the blues and the whites to kind of represent that construction, because the main colors you could kind of see, and etc, etc, etc. So yeah, I do use Canva quite a lot. I use it a lot. I do pay for a subscription on Canva. I think it's $10.99. Well worth it, because you get to download stuff with transparent backgrounds. You just get a bit more with the paid. If you are on a budget, there's nothing wrong with the free one. Like, definitely go and do the free one and see what you can do. But if you are trying to download stuff with like a transparent background, stuff like that, you won't be able to, because that's only on the Canva Pro membership. So next is files. So files is, like you would notice, everything you've ever downloaded. I've got from fonts in there to brushes that I've bought for Procreate, big files, video files, everything. Obviously it is linked in with my iCloud as well, so I can easily access stuff from my MacBook on there, stuff from my phone on there, and that's kind of why I like the whole Apple thing, because everything is just synced. These are just the downloads on my iPad at the moment, which is probably fonts that I've used and imported into Adobe Illustrator, Canva, and all these things, etc, etc. Okay, so this next file is video editing platforms. I don't use these anymore, which is probably why, like, you can see like one of them's old and been deleted. The only one I actually use is CapCut. CapCut is like the underdog, but I don't use it as much as my iPad as I used to, because they have a desktop version and I love editing on my MacBook. So just the screen, it's just bigger, everything's just better. But if I did need to make like a quick video for my TikTok, I would kind of use it on my iPad and get that made and cut and put into there. CapCut is really, really good for like a basic level of things, and you can kind of just play with it. Like, you can see with this one here, it was, I needed to post something and the original post wasn't ready, so I needed to make something to keep consistent with posting. So I literally screenshotted the steps, like all the different, so I'll show you when I get into Procreate, but all my different levels in Procreate, I literally just screenshotted it. So as you can see, like, it's the outline, and then it goes obviously the quotes there, and then it goes to like the colors, then it goes to like the shading, the background, highlights, and then at the final thing. And that just replays itself on TikTok, so it's like, but it's got the quote there as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I would use it for. That's just an example, mainly for TikTok. I heard you can edit your YouTube videos in here, but I don't personally. The other ones, Impresso is another big one I've seen on TikTok. I don't use it anymore, I just don't like it. KineMaster was another one, but like I said, this is when I was first starting. I don't use it anymore. That's why it's grayed out. Bazaar I used to use for removing the background for my video editing platforms, but because I now have Adobe Photoshop, I do opt it. That is free, so if you don't want to pay for Photoshop, you can remove backgrounds on there and apply them to whatever you want to apply them to. This was a photo grid. I don't use that, which is why it's the way it is. That's just me being honest. Okay, so another big app that I use is Procreate. Procreate is used, I use it for so much. Like, I use it for sketching, I use it for logo design concepts, I literally use it for everything. So I'll just dive into one of my projects. So if you can see, like, there's these two animated illustrations I've got. So my client wants a illustrated version of herself, like a Bratz doll Disney character, for her mixtape or album cover. So this was the original concept I went for. I went for a Disney, as you can see, with the big eyes, the soft face, the round bubbly face, but it's got a bit of attitude because of like her picture. She had fitting eyebrows, kind of applies her hair, etc, etc, etc. Sent it to her, and she wanted to have a bit more attitude. So instead of like changing that one, I kept it, I duplicated it, which is one of the pros of Procreate. Like, you don't need to start from scratch if you really started a project. So I literally just duplicated that and went in and played with whatever she wanted. So as you can see, the eyes have changed, the lips, the structure of the face, the hair, and I've literally just taken it from that and just duplicated it and done it again. Obviously my watermark's on there because when I'm sending my stuff to my client, I watermark everything, because just in case you send it to them, they save it, they say they don't like it, so they can have like two of the same. I watermark everything because if they even try to post it or try to steal it, my watermark is all over it. I do that on the top and the bottom of my layers because people are very good with Photoshop and can remove it. So if they remove the top one, there is still one underneath. So yeah, that's just like one thing I use it for. I also use it for design concepts. So let's have a look at a completed one that I've done already. Yeah, so Benelli Events, she wanted a logo design and she wanted to incorporate a flower in there. So I tried my hardest to get that done. These were literally rough sketches I came with, ideas, played with it on Photoshop, and that's the beauty. Like, I've literally just sketched this. And like you can see, I've rubbed out key areas and changed colors and stuff like that, and I feel like that's just the beauty of Procreate. But like, this is like how I would start off my design, and then I would import it into Photoshop, import it into Adobe Illustrator, and bring it to life there, kind of thing. So yeah, then I do it for my illustrations as well. This is unfinished, but like you can see, this is just for fun, just to show people what I can do. But yeah, I'm literally in the coloring phase. You can see, kind of see I'm in the coloring phase. But yeah, Procreate is a big thing for me. I spend a lot of money-ish on Procreate because I buy different brushes, I try different things, I watch a lot of videos on it. I'm quite obsessed with Procreate. It used to be Adobe, but like right now it is Procreate. Procreate has my heart, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about Procreate. I believe Procreate is free, but do not quote me on that. I am gonna find out, and I'm gonna put a little note on the screen. I believe it's free. Yeah. Anyways, so moving on, I have Spotify because sometimes when I'm in my zone, I just want to listen to music. Same with SoundCloud. If I don't have like a playlist I want to listen to, I'll just listen to like a mix. Skillshare. So Skillshare is another big platform for me. I literally go to this platform anytime I want to learn something new. Anything. As you can see, first page recommended because based on stuff I've watched. Logo design, like Procreate at the top, packaging, like Adobe Illustrator on the iPad, which I said I wanted to get into. Literally everything creative wise and more you can learn on Skillshare. Skillshare is not free. Pay annual subscription. I can't remember, but I will find how much it is. Would I say get it? Absolutely. Skillshare is, it is like, once you pay, it's unlimited how much courses you can watch and replay and save. Like, you've got from Adobe to Procreate to finance, personal branding. You can literally learn so much things on this platform, and the original price is quite expensive. Right now, I think they're only doing annual subscriptions, so it is like 200, 300, I think, maybe less. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely in the hundreds. But is it worth it? Yes, because the amount of knowledge I've gained is, like, I can't even say. Like, a lot of the stuff I do now, I never used to do, which is why I am where I am now. So Skillshare is very a big thing. Like, you can never stop learning with graphic design, which is why I never stopped learning. Yeah, so I hope you found this interesting. If you guys do have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will answer them. If not, you can definitely drop me a DM on my Instagram page. If it's graphic related, please message my graphics page, because I probably won't respond on my personal page. So I think it's best that you message me on my graphics page or anything graphic related. Like I said before, I'm going to put all the links in the description box below. I'm going to put the prices, and I hope you guys found this educational, useful in whatever kind of way. If you want me to go in details and more in an app, in a specific app, let me know. I can do that for you guys. But yeah, that is what's on my iPad as a graphic designer, and Twana, of course, my normal life. So yes, thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon, and stay blessed, guys.
Work. It's me heavy work. It's me heavy work.